And welcome once again to Scottish Stews, Rants and Reviews, and we've got another wrestling story. This wrestling story is simply entitled When a Wrestler Won't Sell. So first of all, non-wrestling fans might ask, what is selling? What, you're in a shop? You selling things? Nah, not exactly. So, the art of selling, and let's just go all kayfabe here, yeah? Wrestling's not a real contact sport. I think us educated fans know that. Alright, we know it for what it is. So selling is when you're making a move look great. Alright, so you've got selling and non-selling. Alright, so think of Shawn Michaels versus Hulk Hogan. That's your overselling, right? Every punch, boom, boom, flying around. And then no selling, you hit someone and it looks like crap and they don't move and don't do anything. Alright, so I've got 3 stories about selling here today. The first one, so I've been coaching for a long time now, and very early on in my coaching times, way back at the beginning of WrestleZone, I had a lot of guys come in for the first lessons, and remember this one guy came in, looked like your typical, I hate saying this, but he looked like your typical kind of wrestling fan nerd, right? That's what he looked like. Alright, so he comes in, and I'm showing him how to do like arm bars and wrist locks. So I mentioned the word selling, and I said to him, right, so when I apply the wrist lock, you want to try and sell the move. So he looks at me and he goes, oh, is that when we pretend that this stuff actually hurts? So I look at him and I'm thinking, dude, now, if you want to throw the fake word at me about wrestling, alright, that's cool. If we're outside, yeah, say it's fake. I'll have a laugh at a joke and I'll say, hey, you're entitled to your opinion. You may be in a pub, we're having a pint, and you tell me what you do is fake. I'll say, yeah, sure. You know what, I believe something different, but you, my son, are entitled to your opinion. But if you walk into a wrestling gym and you tell me, ow, is this when we pretend this actually hurts? You're offending me, you're offending everything pro wrestling's built around. You're going to get your totty, son. So, I waited to the portion we get him in the actual ring. And I was quite unprofessional, if I'm honest. I started doing postings to him when you throw him into the corner. Didn't teach him properly how to take it. I just wanted to hurt him. So I threw him in 10, 15 times. He had big massive welts and bruises. I body slammed him. Boom, boom, body slams. Gave him like 15, 20 body slams. At the end of the 3-hour lesson, he limped out of there. And I was like, they're real enough for you, son. Never saw him again. So that's my first story on selling. A little bit later on, I was working for the company, and my next 2 stories are actually from this company, the SWE. I'm not going to go into SWE right now, but it was a company I was working for. So there was a guy who I trained who was working for WrestleZone and SWE simultaneously at the time. His working name was Die Hard Ian Morris. Ian Morris, very talented guy, underrated in my opinion. Has gone on to be a very, very great musician and rapper. You look him up online. In fact, if I could figure out how to do it, I'll link his stuff in the description. Anyway, he was set to work with a guy called Azzy. And I'm sorry, Azzy was the pits. He was so bad. I mean, SW made him their champion for whatever reason. Don't know why. Maybe because he paid more training fees than everyone else. I don't know. He was terrible. But what he was really bad at was selling. So you tell him, and you'd get a, ow. You give him an arm bar. Ow. That's all you got with this guy. So Ian used to like wrestling. He was a big fan of the Japanese strong style. So when he worked with you, he'd love to do strong style stuff like big Yakuza kicks to the head and leg kicks and all sorts of stuff. And everyone's got different opinions on that. I personally like working that style. So I'd work with him all the time, and we'd do a manoeuvre where he would stick my head on the outside near a post, and then he'd give me that big kick to the head and it'd ring off the post. But we'd do it in a way where it didn't hurt. But you'd sell it. So Ian's in a match with Azzy, and Azzy's doing the same thing. You know, Ian would hit a move and he's like, ow. Do another move, ow. And I'm just like, man, this guy cannot sell, man. And I could see the frustration on Ian's face as this match progresses. So he sets him up for the move with his head near the ring posts. And he just decides not to pull it. And he runs in and he pelts Azzy this huge kick. And all you hear is this dull thunk noise, like a bell, thunk. Then all you hear, so the whole match has been ow, ow. Now all you hear is, aya, 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 aya. And me and all the lads backstage are all laughing. We were on our asses, absolutely laughing. Just before I leave Azzy alone, one more quick story about Azzy. We're once in a battle royal for the SWB and we're told that Azzy had to win it. So, okay, fine. And we're doing various moves, and as he's on the deck, because he'd been hit by something or whatever, and another atrocious wrestler, known as the Tartan Terror, decides to suplex this 22-stone guy in a battle royal where there's loads of bodies everywhere. Anyway, Tartan Terror suplexes the guy, who, I can't remember the guy's name, right on top of Ozzy's head, knocks him out cold. So we're fighting away, and Ozzy's not moving, and we're like, I think he's knocked out, guys. We're like, but isn't he supposed to win this thing? Yeah. And we're trying to get, like, rousing him, we're hitting him, we're kicking him, nothing. Just even more inanimate than usual. So we kind of, like, there was, like, 3 sides where the fans were, and there was one side where there was a brick wall. So we kind of rolled him like a big fucking rock and put him in the ring and let him fall to the side. And then we decided on the cuff somebody was going to win the Battle Royal. And we got him back maybe 15, 20 minutes later, and all the fans went away home. We pulled back like, "You okay, son?" He's like, "Oh." Anyway, that's that story. So now the final story on selling I'm going to tell is a personal story that happened to me. It was myself and a guy called Martin Stallion. Now, I really like Martin Stallion. I believe he went on to become a terrific wrestler. Another underrated guy, probably underrated because he was part of the SWE banner. And sometimes some good guys come out of there. And I don't like the fact they all get underrated because it's SWE. No one knows how to work in SWE. That isn't true. But Martin Stallion, he looked good. He had a great body, great physicality. So because of that, guys who come into wrestling training who already have the bodies, they're pushed to the moon straight away. Because unfortunately, a lot of independent wrestlers, and I'm not even saying like, I was never the big body guy. I kept myself in shape. I was never like 6-pack and muscles everywhere. You know, so most guys that come in are not like that in the independent scene. And the ones that do look like that will get pushed hard regardless of their talent. So Martin Stallion was pushed too quick onto shows before he was ready. That's the truth of it. So I think it was like his second or third match he'd ever had, and he got put into a match with myself. Now, it was a gala show. So gala shows, the fans don't really care, typically. But you're professional, you want to put in the best show you possibly can. I was the heel, the bad guy, and Stallion was the babyface. So the thing about new wrestlers is pacing. They never know how long to sell for, and Martin was struggling with this, I think. So the match is progressing. I hit like a body slam on him. I turn around to get some boos from the crowd. He's up on his feet already. I'm like, oh Christ, okay. So I run at him, I pelt him a good few forearms, get him down again. I turn around, he's back on his body feet. I'm like, Jesus Christ. So I grab him and go, Martin, slow down, brother, slow down. So I hit him again, give him a body slam. I thought, I'll give him a big move. So I climb to the top rope and I deliver my big leg drop, the BLE, one of my best moves in my repertoire. Smash, right? So I turn around to the fans again, oh yeah, who the man? Out of the corner of my eye, Martin's on one knee, getting up from my move, my big finishing move. So I am hot, I am absolutely raging. So I race at him, run at him full pelt, and I legit soccer kick him straight in the flipping head, as hard as I can. Shoot, wham! He just goes down like a ton of bricks. I get on top of him, I stick my elbow in his flipping face to teach him a lesson. I was like, mate, you're going to sell that, aren't you? You're going to sell that. And he did. He learned a lesson. So backstage, he was like, Stu, what was that about? And I said to him, mate, if I hit you with a move like that and you get straight up, you're crapping my move. You're making me look rubbish. So I had to do that, you know, and he thanked me, shook my hand, went away. About 3, maybe 4 years later, I was scheduled to work with him again on an SWE show, and he'd learned a lot. He was a lot better. He was decent, and he pulls me aside at the start. Now, I'd actually blown my knee out a couple of days before, so my knee was bothering me, and I was in 2 minds whether to do the bout. But Stallion pulls me aside before the scheduled bout, and he goes, Lions. I go, yeah. You remember that kick? I was like, yeah, I remember that kick. He goes, receipt time. So I'm like, all right. So I was like, screw the bad knee, we're going to do it. So we planned to literally, and I'll show you a clip in a second of that, we planned to literally just go hell for leather for the first sort of 10-15 seconds just to get some payback on each other before we actually work properly. So we did. The bell rang, it's forearm by forearm over and over, chop for chop over and over. We just leathered the crap at each other. Then once that was our system, we worked a match. And at that time I was really happy with the match. I really enjoyed it. And me and Martin became really good friends after that. And I think it's a few years ago I met him again. He's retired now, like myself. And he said to me that he had a trainee that did exactly the same as he did with me, not selling his moves, and he did the exact same thing. So I've bred that along. But, you know, the old school mentality, I'm not really into that. But selling in wrestling is very, very important. Overselling makes you look stupid. Underselling makes you look stupid. You got to sell. But anyway, that's my stories. Hope you found that amusing. Pulling that curtain back a little bit. We will be back next week for another wrestling story. We're out.